This week on RSBANDB Update, construction contracts arrive as one of the most consequential changes to construction since 2006. We have optimal loadouts, XP per hour, a plank box, and an outfit to die for. Plus, 2021 Premier Club provides one of the best valued offerings yet. This is RSBANDB Update, episode 804, recorded Thursday, November 19th, 2020. Constructing Choice. Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us for another episode of RSBANDB Update this week. It feels kind of weird being here this week. I feel like it's been a really short time since we last gathered here, Tannis.
It does kind of seem that way, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think this is part of the whole time dilation bit of 2020 where some people are finding it really long and some people are finding it really short, like myself. But nonetheless, this week, it's Construction Contracts Week here on RSBANDB Update. Joining us to discuss this long-awaited update to the construction skills, Alex43, one of our former writers, longtime and former writer. Welcome back.
Hello, my name is Alex43, and you will hear my voice exactly 3 times throughout the entire podcast, and Shane will at one point forget I am even here. that one point about forgetting you is perhaps true. But yeah, construction contracts, very important update. We're going to go through all of these as well as the Premier Club for 2021 and, of course, the patch notes. So with that being said, I am Shane12088. You can find me in-game. And Tannis, you're Tannis79, and Alex is Alex43 as well. And yes, just a bit of a reminder, if anybody wants to follow along in the full show notes, you can find those at update.rsbnb.com. And also our Patreon page, if you want to support the podcast, is patreon.com/rsbnb. And we have a really special offering coming up with that. So you just keep your ears peeled about what exactly that's going to be. But it's something you're not going to want to miss, especially as we approach the holiday season. I kind of want to let the cat out of the bag now, but I'm going to wait until the Patreon spot.
You can wait. You can make it. It's called a tease, Shane.
Yeah, I know. But when I build something that I get really excited about, I find it really difficult to not talk about it.
Take it slow.
Look, dear listeners, you know you want it. Just give Shane your money, all right? Don't even second guess yourselves.
On that note, just look at the show notes if you want a bit of an early tease on that. But construction contracts, I feel like I need to start this update off with a story because when construction first came out in 2006, it was an update that was effectively teased to us by saying that we would have teleport tablets, chairs that we can sit on, and clockwork cats. They didn't mention, of course, that you would make all of those with the construction skill. And lo and behold, surprise, at the end of May 2006, we come forward and bam, construction is right there. It was a surprise.
You left
update.
out the part where they advertised player-owned houses coming out in 2002, back in the days of RuneScape Classic, where these large cordoned areas of Varrock and Felidar used to exist that were completely inaccessible to players.
I was going to go there next because I was going to say that, we got construction, we got player-owned houses, and at the time, prior to archaeology, it was the largest skill launch ever for the game. And, it, for the better part of 14 years there, has just been focused around the entirety of your player-owned house, which, I think is fine. But over time, the player-owned house has become stale. There used to be house parties that people would have. People always used to show off their wealth with their house. Of course, there's better ways of doing that nowadays. But when it comes down to it, I don't think we use our player-owned house as much as we used to. If anything, I think the room I get the most use out of it is through my bank is the costume room. Right? You guys probably feel the same on that.
More or less. I do like my menagerie.
Yeah, the menagerie is good too. Place to put all the pets and whatnot. But
the altar was
the altar.
It was the prayer training source.
Yes.
You can go there with your bones and just completely drag yourself over to level 99.
Yeah. And we still go there. Well, at least I do for my equipment, but
Right, repairing equipment.
yeah, I love that house.
Yeah.
It's a great house.
Now, as Alex said, back when RuneScape Classic was around in 2002, there were large cordoned off areas of the big cities that were going to be the player-owned house area. That's where the player-owned homes would be. This was an update that Andrew Gower at the time really, really wanted to get out. And, it was actually for a large part one of the main reasons, aside from the 3D update, that the engine rework going into RuneScape 2 happened was to enable a better player-owned house system. And, this goes way back to materials that you probably can't find anywhere, but this is the whole reason, one of the big reasons they waited to put them out until RuneScape 2. It was going to be called carpentry back in the day, and the whole idea behind it is that you would have overworld construction where you'd be able to build your own house. And, going back to 2006, and the idea of having overworld construction never really materialized for 14 years until this week. Of course, Old School has a similar thing in their Mahogany Homes update. And, I'm just glad that, 14 years later, we have what was originally envisioned as being, at least a little tidbit of what the construction skill would have been like in terms of overworld construction on that. So that's where I come from on this, and I know that's where Alex comes from on this, and he has been a fan of construction ever since it came out, and that's why I asked him on this episode. So
it is one of my favorite skills. So
yeah, and I mean it goes way back, and I think we need to perhaps at the end of this have a discussion about whether or not we need more of these training methods, or a rework to the POH is the answer to that, because we've been told time and time again a POH rework would be a massive, massive investment and would effectively be rebuilding the construction skill. But we'll save that for our conclusion. So these contracts, you can pick one up from any estate agent out there. And, with these contracts, the amount of XP you get scales based on the type of plank you use. Level 40 unlocks regular planks, 50 oak planks, 60 for teak, and 70 for mahogany. And there's 11 different buildings you can be sent through across the world in order to build things for the homeowner or the shop owner. And when you do that, you'll get a bulk drop of 10,000 construction XP plus some XP for finishing each little hotspot inside the area. And, I don't know. Let's do a bit of a first impression here. Alex, what did you first think when you got to sample this update?
Well, first off, 10,000 experience in construction is quite a big amount considering how much experience you actually do get from mahogany planks and stuff. So that is a heck of a bonus, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to be investing in this training method.
Yeah.
But as for first impressions, when I got into it, I thought it was kind of neat. I was going around and rebuilding stuff, and it kind of felt like sort of like a community effort, like not just us training our skill, but also interacting with the actual RuneScape world itself. Like we're going to other people's places and building stuff and fixing stuff. And at first I thought that would be kind of cool that we get to see our creations and stuff as we're walking around the different towns and stuff like that. But then I was sorely disappointed to find that they just basically keep on recycling the exact same models for all their different features like beds and candles and stuff like that. So it doesn't matter how beautiful the mahogany is, you're still going to get that rusty old patchwork bed after building it. And that kind of disappointed me because it kind of felt like I wasn't really getting anything out of it besides just the experience.
Yeah, and I can see why they did that, because I think we are still in an era where updates are trying to be produced with minimal resources because of the whole virus plague situation, I guess you could say.
Well, the thing is that they didn't even have to. They already have the models in the player-owned houses. All they have to do is just slot them in.
I wonder would they even fit, though? I don't know. And
I would imagine some of them would.
Yeah, we're kind of
try to go through some of them. Like I'm sure that you wouldn't be making a double bed in a 2x2 area room.
Yeah, true. And I mean, you could probably fit something smaller in there with that. Tanis, how is it for you for accessibility and whatnot when you were doing this?
Lights are a pain. So I've got to basically really utilize my camera. And maybe everybody has to do that, but I'm really looking for that mouse over text to pop and kind of searching around with my camera. But once I got a hang of where the hot spots were, I know where to look. You know what I'm saying? So it's not. It's easy to memorize.
Okay, fair enough. And it's a simple matter of going to each building. You click on it, and a little progress bar above your head. Your character builds it, and then when you're done, you're going to get that bulk drop of 10,000 XP. And then you go back to an estate agent, pick up another contract, and repeat the whole process time and time again. And the only thing that changes is the location. We'll talk a bit about the loadout that you want in a minute for this, but did you guys get bored quickly with this?
Right. Well, as opposed to regular construction training,
like
right?
There's no lore behind it or anything like that. So I was.
Yeah, I mean, you're basically
it's just the grinding method, just the grinding way to get XP.
You're being a handyman now. It could have been great if they had put. So I'm going to compare this, and let me just put a disclaimer in there. I'm going to compare this to something, but I know it is its own thing. But it did remind me a lot of safe cracking, a lot.
Really?
It just is what it is. It is another training method, but it's really hitting the sweet spot that we needed in the game. And there's a lot of similarities, but Alex hit on one of the main differences is safe cracking. We did get introduced through a bit of lore and tech or mini quest type stuff, right? Like it kind of fed into that through the thieving guild and stuff. So yeah, we didn't really have any of that. I don't really think you could equate these two. But when it comes to going around, so safe cracking, you could have think about the lessons learned with that, and now think about construction contracts. It's not a set route all the time. It's not. You can't really manipulate it in the same way as safe cracking. The rates are reasonable.
The rates are set.
I just feel like there was a lot of lessons learned, man, and this reminds me a lot of it. The difference, one of the big differences with construction contracts, though, is you're trading some XP for GP. Like you're saving GP.
Right.
It's going to slow your rate.
It's saving GP because you're not having to sink all the huge amounts into whatever you would have inside your POH.
Right, and even though you're not moving much, you're moving as much as you would if you were farming, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And, the bulk of these things are in cities that you can easily get to, like Edgeville, Draenor, Catherby, Varrock.
Like free-to-play cities.
Yeah, free-to-play.
Yeah.
So, getting around is not a problem with it. And, one thing I was wondering if we were going to see when this came in is if we were going to have one of those little visual hints that we had with safe cracking where the blind man tells us how to play the update. But to my knowledge, the rate is entirely set and you don't need to, pay attention to any of that.
That's one of the. I mean, that is one of the beautiful things, and we'll talk more about there's more of this to come. But this is it's a really nice quality of life to training construction. This is way less click intensive than your normal construction training.
I actually kind of want to object to that because we got those flat pack depackers in that you can make with the invention skill, and those basically let you build 60 flat packs at a time. So construction can be a very AFKable skill.
Well,
this extra method is not really that AFKable.
Right, but it's
in fact, you only get maybe 20 seconds before you move on to the next thing to build. So you're mostly always clicking and watching the screen and stuff. You can't really do much else.
Well, I guess that's true. But most of I guess I think a construction training is pawnbroker training because It's normally that's the
Yeah.
highest rate. It's normally
Yeah.
what you do.
Yeah.
But yeah, no point taken on flat packs.
And yeah, I feel like I'm kind of harping on this a little bit. I do like it. It is a very nice addition to construction. Like you said, though, it could have definitely been a lot more.
Oh,
and
hell
since
yeah.
I'm already level 99 construction,
Yeah.
I don't really have anything
Yeah.
else I can get out of it.
Except for the the outfit, because
Yeah, the outfit. But even that we're getting from Treasure Hunter, pretty well for free. So
I only got one piece so far this week from there. So
I got two.
Okay, let's take that with a grain of salt for now. We'll come back to the rewards. Tanis, let's talk a bit about the loadout, because you are in touch with some people who are fairly high end on the amount of XP that they like to get from their skilling methods, and I think it's safe to say that this isn't something that you're going to be using to train post 99, right? Unless you need the rewards.
You will do it for the rewards. Absolutely. And you'll do it if you want to just kick back. If you're cheap, this is the way for you too. You might not get the rates, but if you're poor, this is
important.
Pretty. Yeah.
And that's
pretty
the
good.
thing that we are so far right here underselling, is that this is an update that if you are in that 40 to 70 band and you're not flush with cash and you don't want to spend that on your POH, this is a perfect update for you.
Yeah.
Because you can use regular planks at level 40, and with that you still get the bulk XP drop of 10,000. With that.
Yeah, that's it all adds up, right?
Yeah.
It all goes together.
And really, from level 40, 10,000 XP is pretty huge.
Yeah, you're basically looking at, from what most people are saying, it's about 20 contracts an hour. This is pre like
outfit.
Yeah, because the outfit does speed it up. But as for like the things that you want, you're gonna want like the Artificer's Measure, Construction Cape, Proficiency, Scroll of Proficiency.
Right, and we were wondering if that was still going to work, the Scroll of Proficiency on this, but apparently it does.
Yeah,
which can save planks.
They all seem to be in play. Plus all of your regular stuff.
Yeah, the cape and whatnot as well. Pulse cores, you name it.
And as for like your materials, I wanted to recommend protein planks, but that's not the best way for XP. If you just want to do this like the easy way, you can use protein planks. But otherwise, you're going to want to save those for the pawnbroker later, and especially with a reward you will get on the outfit that we'll talk about. But you can take the highest plank that you can until you can get a plank box. I think, what level is it?
The highest plank is mahogany, and whichever plank you use influences the amount of credits that you get from doing this.
That's right. So if I was trying to remember though, like, does he give you the plank box, or do you have to do it?
You have to buy it.
Okay.
You have to buy the plank box.
Yeah. So use the best plank you can, but as soon as you get that, you can get the plank box. Get the plank box, fill it with the best planks you can. Take maybe 3 or 4 steel bars, 3 or 4 adamant bars. You want some bolts of cloth. You want to make sure you take steel.
Why not just make nails?
I know you do want the bars because some items need bars. Like there's things that need adamant type bars, and there's a couple steel bar things.
I've never had anything come up that has needed bars yet.
Then you are very
part
lucky.
Of the Sphinx and stuff. Yeah. But as for the nails, you're right. You definitely want steel nails because anything lower has a chance of failing and stuff. So as far as I know, steel and above, you're fine.
Yeah, and you can buy those from the sawmill.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Or make them 75 at a time per bar.
There you go.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I said bolts of cloth, candles. You'll be fixing lights, so you got to go down to Catherby and get some candles from the candle maker.
Which they have 300 in stock now.
Yep.
Just make sure you don't buy 4 at a time.
Yeah, that's a little it's a little side joke that they have there.
If you have a Passage of the Abyss, that can come in handy. The other thing that can come in real handy, especially if you don't have the outfit yet, is NPC contacts. So take your runes for your Lunar Spellbook, then you don't have to. You can just get a new contract.
That saves you from having to go to...
that's a really good idea. I've been teleporting to Ithel and talking to the estate agent there.
Yeah, well, that's another. That's another good method. But yeah, you can do it through the NPC contacts. So.
Okay, that's really good. And the areas you have to go to are Lumbridge, Edgeville, Varrock, Varrock General Store, rather, Varrock Charos House, Varrock Blue Moon Inn, Ned and Drainer, Bob's Axes in Lumbridge, Victoria's house in Lumbridge, the Wise Old Man's house in Drainer, Father Eric's church in Lumbridge, and Aggie's house in Drainer. So you effectively need Drainer teleports, Varrock teleports, and Lumbridge teleports.
Or a whole lot of quick teleports in your Lodestone network.
Yeah. I mean, I think the best bet for Drainer would be Amulets of Glory, based on who you have to go to there.
I don't mind in the middle of the city as opposed to right outside.
Yeah, I don't mind an extra second or two. I'm just lodestoning it all the way.
All right, fair
Or
enough.
you know where else you can use the Amulet of Glory teleport? Your own player-owned house. Just run inside there and grab your Glory Amulet, mount it on the wall, and you're there.
Yeah, my concern with that is how long it takes to load the house. But
it doesn't take too long nowadays.
That's a topic for a different day, though.
Now, the best way is once you have the outfit.
Of course, if you also have a portal room there, then just set your portals to Lumbridge and Varrock and everything, and you can just use those as well.
Tanis, you mentioned the outfit. I want to do one final thing before we move on to talk about the outfit. I want to talk about 2 other pieces of equipment that you mentioned the scroll proficiency, but you also didn't associated with that, but I don't think it was mentioned yet, was the Artificer's Measure, the skilling offhand, which is something that, came out a month or so ago with Orthan, I think it was. I know it came out with Orthan. I just don't know when Orthan was, time-wise from now. Could have been a month ago. Could have been slightly less or more. But with that, the chance to activate your scroll of proficiency is multiplied by 1 1/4, which saves you planks. And you also gain the Artificer's Focus bonus, providing that extra 0.5% XP buff to construction and crafting, which stacks up to 10 times for 5% more XP for 5 minutes. So Artificer's Measure is actually something that is going to be very useful. Here, I know we questioned when it came out if it was going to be a useful item. And then one thing Alex is running around with, and, you surprised me when you said you had this, was you said you've been using Brooch of the Gods.
Yep, made it myself. Got all the fortunate components, got the Hydrix.
Would you recommend other people using that?
That depends if you are absolutely insane like I am.
Okay, so probably not.
Well, I would probably recommend it because just like the Grace of the Elves, it constantly gives you free invention components whenever you're trading stuff like archaeology, especially when you're trading skills like archaeology. Like you'll see those blessings of the gods, you click them, and quite often you get uncommon components. Sometimes you get nice free rare ones.
Yeah, and it activates when you're doing the contracts, right?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, good. All right. Well,
it's also got like a couple of extra little bonuses here and there that are kind of nice to have. Well, with trading archaeology, especially because it's got the +1 multiplier, so you get 6 times for the higher level 100% focus thing.
Right.
Which helps you get artifacts, but not terribly fast. So It's a nice to have, like just something to have if you don't have anything else.
Okay, now the rewards for this, Tanis, you already mentioned the plank box on this, but we need to go through exactly what the other plank box upgrades are, and then the big reward that everybody's going to want with this, and what has been on Treasure Hunter this week. But the plank boxes, the first one is 50 contract credits, the second one is 150, and then the third is 300. And the first one holds 25 of each plank, the second one holds 50 of each plank, and then the third one holds 100 of each plank. So you
must have.
I agree.
That needs to be your number one goal.
And you know, it became easier. It became easier to do the contracts even with plank boxes one, the first one.
Oh, so. I mean, yeah, and it's going to increase your time, you know, for banking, but it's just that needs to be like the number one thing you're trying to do is upgrade that.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the outfit now. The Master Constructor's outfit comes from Treasure Hunter promo this week, but you can also buy each piece for 250 credits inside the Estate Agent's reward shop. And this is going to be the main reason why people who are post-99 are going to be training this, because for 1,250 points, you get this outfit for free that you normally would have to pay Treasure Hunter keys for with that. So, with that being said, let's look at this outfit. Now, we went through a bit of this last week, but now we actually have it in our hands here. It has an option to automatically remove furniture immediately after building it. Which is why you said you're going to want to save your protean planks for those prawn brokers after the fact.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not that it saves you so much time that it's not a huge XP buff, right? It is, but it's not a huge one. What it is,
it's an RSI.
It's a hand saver.
Yeah,
it's a hand. Yeah, man. Before that was arthritis, on a mouse.
Yeah.
So this is just like great quality of life. It's just going to make, traditional old school type construction training still viable. It's kind of got a fresh, coat of paint on it.
Yeah. You can also convert logs to planks. You still do need to pay for it.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a limit on how many you can convert, but that's certainly interesting since I don't have the full set yet. Alex, do you have the full one?
Not yet. I only have 2 pieces.
All right. You can get a +3 boost to construction, increased build progress for construction contracts. But if you have the outfit, do you really need this increased build progress? Because, I don't know, do you think it's viable XP-wise from what you've heard for somebody who is post-99 to do contracts as a primary training method?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, it's all about what you're... Look, it works out to about 3 GP per XP for these contracts, right?
Right.
Normal training is 12 per XP.
That's a factor of 4.
Right. So, and at the top end, you're looking at, maybe 1.2 mil XP an hour traditionally. And with the contracts, you're looking at, starting out, you're probably going to be closer to about 400K an hour. Between that, maybe a little lower, maybe a little faster. It depends on your banking and stuff.
Yeah.
Once you get upgraded, once you're cruising with the outfit, you can push that to 5 or 6. Because the outfit, you're teleporting directly to the real estate
right,
agent,
and that's
then directly to the contract.
And
boom.
That's something that you also get from this is that teleport to the current contract and estate agent.
Yeah, so I actually think they did really good with that. We're always talking about choice around here, and this is the first
you're right.
real viable choice that I can remember in a long time. Well, like consequential choice, you know what I mean? Like there isn't a right way now. There's a way you can do to save money, and then there's a way you can go.
You said
balls to the wall.
$550K an hour with all the upgrades, right? Around there?
Yeah.
Okay,
you might be able to push it to.
So, I mean, with that, you're probably, with double XP, that's 1.1 million an hour. Double XP plus bonus XP, if you wanted to do that, that's still pretty good, right? 1.5.
Yeah. If it's double XP, man, you're going to want to do you're going to want to do the traditional.
I guess.
Well, you're getting more bang for your buck, man. It's just more efficient.
Yeah, sure. Also, chance to instantly finish repairs during contracts.
Yeah.
Which is also nice.
So that's where that increased XP comes from. It's from the time that's, it's going faster and you're traveling there faster.
And you're finishing them sometimes. Yeah.
So that's how I recommend you go for the outfit first, and then
really?
use the outfit to get you the boxes.
What about just one plank box before going for the outfit then?
Could do that, or what I would like to do instead is I just fill up my inventory of mahogany planks and just have one slot with proteon planks in case I run out.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah. And, that's something that we also haven't really talked about that much, is that if you wanted to, you could do the proteins with that, but Tannis, anybody efficiency-minded is going to tell you with that, do the prawn brokers with those proteins.
Yeah. Unless if you want, but now you do have a choice to train construction casually.
It's 3 GP versus 12 GP per XP.
Yeah, if you're going casual, proteins are great. If you're not using proteins to get the most out of them, if you just want a relaxed, experience, now you can do that with construction.
And I use all my proteins with the flat packer anyways.
Right, with the portable, the workbench?
Yeah, the portable flat packer. I just sit on my desk and then I make 60 of the dining tables.
Yeah, that was the portable sawmill, right?
No. The packer, the invention item. You create the invention item and it notes your stuff.
Right. Okay, fair enough.
And that just turns into just a full-on AFK skill. All you do is just have a whole bunch of those, whole bunch of protein planks and just make them.
Yeah, so we've effectively outlined here 3 different methods of construction training. You got the contracts, you got the traditional prawn broker method, which is now boosted up with the outfit, and then of course you have the flat pack depackers with flat packs too.
We're all different.
It'd be interesting to see where the flat pack packers came in terms of XP per hour. And I think the cost,
I would assume it would be a little bit.
It would be a little bit less than prawn brokers, but it would be the same cost because you're still putting in those same amount of logs or planks. Yeah. So
you're getting AFK, but it's cost.
Yeah.
And construction.
One thing that everybody is going to forget with this is that people who are maxed are going for the outfit.
Oh, yeah.
But anybody who is level 40 to 70 has now an update with a huge amount of choice brought into it. Choice that didn't exist. Choice that enriches the construction skill by actually having you build things on the overworld and not just be confined to a player-owned house where it's just you and the butler. And with that, also
like
cheaper
freaking Batman.
So overall, I think this is pretty good. I felt kind of bored with it, after my first 10 contracts or so and getting the first plank box. But that's perhaps because I, didn't have the quick.
Well, it's a grinding skill, You do get bored. You're supposed to supplement it with other things.
Yeah.
Or not do it all in one sitting.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Like do 10 contracts at a time and then do something else and then get bored of that and then do more contracts. Yeah.
There's also a set of achievements that comes with this update as well. The absolute planker is one of them. And with that, they say one of which is required for the completionist cape. I don't know which one it is right now.
I think it's the one where you have to collect all 3 of the boxes.
Okay, fair enough. That is absolute planker, which is absolutely hilarious to say that they would call it that. There's also 5 achievements for completing 1 to 100 contracts at various milestones. 5-star review, earn 5 credits from a contract, and then 1-star review, earn only 1 credit from a contract, which if you use a basic blank. So there you have it.
So we got to get a bad review, huh?
Yeah, you got to get a bad review. And I mean, these achievements aren't too hard. And there's no grace period on this one.
I thought a bad review would be like you hit on the dude's like old lady or
Whoa, no. You don't want that.
I'll give you a bad Yelp review.
Oh, my God. Don't do that. But yeah, it's nice to see achievements coming in. I hope that this becomes the new norm with this, especially with the new achievements system that they rolled out last week. So, fingers crossed.
I think it can hold us over till we get the POH rework that we're looking for.
Well, the thing is, I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon, because you know how the smithing rework went?
Yeah.
You're basically asking them to update that again.
Yeah,
that's how convoluted construction is right now.
Well, it would probably have to be ripped out and just replaced.
Yep, and it's going to be a big project, so they're probably going to announce it, and it's going to probably be this big, giant, hyped-up thing that the smithing update was.
Yeah, and I mean...
Well, and that's what I don't want. Like, this is fine. This is a decent update. This is a good training. This is a good training update. But, I don't want this to be the nature of all of the skilling, going forward. We're either going to get, this, or we might get a new skill, but we're not really getting stuff reworked. And I don't know.
Well, they said remasters will be part of the episodic content team going forward. It's just a question of if it's going to be as big as M&S was, right?
But is it as big as that? I mean, is it really?
Technically.
Couldn't you just take it out and then replace it with something? The same kind of thing. Like, we have the systems.
No.
If you look at the aquarium, like, where you move things around, we've got the model with the player-owned Slayer dungeon. We have, they already have this. Why couldn't it just be applied to your player-owned house? Like, take it out and replace it with that model.
Yeah.
Probably some sort of technical reason behind that. I'm not sure.
And that's what I think. I think it's going to come down to everything being 100% technical in terms of why.
Because I'm pretty sure somebody in their meeting room would have risen their head and said,
Right?
"Hey, what if we did this?" And then they would have looked at it and they said, "I don't think we can do that because the code here is very weird." Yeah.
Well, you never know.
Yeah, and like I said.
Mm-hmm.
When you want to deliver a piece of content, the question is going to come down to what is going to be the best bang for the buck, right? And I think with the monthly content cycle that they're going with, this was the best bang for the buck that they could do for construction at this time.
Yeah, no, I mean, and I think it will hold us over, but
yeah,
I don't want to give up hope.
No. You remember last year at RuneFest, I said two of the updates, or 2 of the skills that would go to 120 would be construction and summoning. It turned out to be farming and herb lore.
I really did think it was going to be construction that time.
Yeah, I mean, we went
through.
through
There a lot of people freaking out if it was summoning.
Yeah, we went through that on the roundtable before RuneFest last year, and it did make sense to us laying it out. So I mean, it's going to come at some point. It's just a question of when, right? So.
Yeah. In the meantime, I mean, this is a good training.
Oh yeah,
update.
very good, very good. There's nothing to complain about with this. It does exactly what it says it was going to do on the tin. It improves the mid-range band of the skill, 40 to 70.
Mm-hmm.
It provides a new reward for those who are at the high end, and it adds more choice to the skill, which is exactly, I think, what you wanted in an update. So, I think on that sense, if we were rating this, it'd be a 5 out of 5.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
All right.
Which is a surprise because we had a lot of stuff to complain about, yet it's still a 5 out of 5 because of all the benefits.
Yeah.
I mean, effectively everything we were complaining about were weak niggles that could be worked out or just what people are complaining about, right?
Yep. And I'm sure Jagex will totally do some updates for that. Maybe they will actually implement the thing where you actually do see the new and improved items instead, and that'll make the game a little bit more sandboxy.
Yeah, and it's all about models.
Because who doesn't want to
right?
give Ned a 4-poster bed up there? Like, big giant bed in a tiny little house. That would be hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and, I mean, most of the things we were complaining about, we don't know if they were possible to be done. So there's that, too. So, overall, I think pretty well done. Let us move on to the patch notes right now. I don't think we've forgotten anything about that. We did the achievements, we did the rewards, blank box, outfit, where to go, what to wear. Yeah, we're good. All right. So in patch notes this week, we got a bunch of them relating to interface improvements. In particular, the first one comes in for the Toon Bane Ore spell, in that it will no longer show the X icon when hovering over items in the backpack. I don't know how that would happen and why that was happening, but that is weird that was there.
I think is basically recognizing Bane Aura as not being a valid item to use it on or something like that.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Which we don't know why.
The default size of the activity tracker has been increased, and the paths window has been moved from the left center to the left top in the same position so that they tab together nicely. And, this is once again another first-time user experience thing. If you go to the activity tracker thing, the paths are now on the right, and the activity tracker is on the left. And, if you wanted to open this window up and it would be right there, it's actually a lot better than it was previously, so that's good. I'm pleased about that.
Mm-hmm.
The Events tab will now only appear when an event is active. Good. That's been something that we've needed for a while.
Mm-hmm.
The Wiki button will now now immediately reappears if the player moves focus away and back to the all chat window while always on chat. I think
quick way to toggle.
Yeah,
It's a weird place for a wiki button, I think.
Yeah, I thought it was a weird place for a wiki button too. I didn't like it. I turned it off. But many people forget that always on chat is something that still exists in this game.
Because we need our keybinds.
Yeah, and this goes back to how it used to be way back in the day. And then whenever you stop typing, it appears again, and that's good. Next up,
we're talking about two different things.
Yeah, I think we were. That's fine. The world map now shows an anvil icon for the Barbarian Anvil in Otto's Grotto. For anybody who goes there.
I don't think anybody does.
Unholy symbols will no longer appear to sink into the player character's chest. Smithing tools. What was that?
I used to laugh. I like laughing at people when that happened. It looked like they were getting killed by their amulet. I'm like, that's what you get for being a chaotic neutral.
Unholy person.
Unholy person. It's sinking into you. Smithing tools seen on the odd-looking wall in Sears Village in the workshop no longer float when something spoilery happens. What?
We know what that is.
I don't.
I thought you quested.
I do, but I don't remember every quest. What are they talking about?
Called out.
What are they talking about, Alex?
Think back to the first ever Elemental Workshop quest.
And it's Elemental Workshop on top of his chain!
Moving on. I remember now. The wall changes. Where the door
Surprise!
is. The cup of tea which spawns on the desk in the archaeology shop no longer clips into it.
I just thought it was the cup design. They had fashioned the cup perfectly to fit the desk.
Yeah, that it sinks through it, right?
No, not sinks. It's like they actually clipped out the area there, so it's like that's the actual shape there. It just perfectly fits there because it's meant to.
A
You can
cutscene.
explain clipping every time that way.
Yeah, or just laws of physics failing, right? That's another
It's
one.
a lot more fun to say that it's been elegantly crafted to have that impression in there, so it looks like it's clipping, but it actually is.
A cutscene has been added for Merlin's escape during the King's ransom quest. Interact with the vent after you're discussing your plans with Merlin during the quest to see it.
Oh, I want to see that.
Yeah, unfortunately, we've done the quest.
No, but you can see it after, right?
It says during the quest to
Oh.
see it. So, unfortunately, we can't go back for that.
I'll try it anyways.
Yeah, go for it. You'll no longer get an empty vial when mixing unicorn horns with Super Restore 3s. All right.
Interesting.
The description for
Horns,
the
you drinking it?
Fury of the Small Relic has been updated to match its functionality, which is the relic that gives you extra adrenaline whenever you use a basic combat ability. The power of light special attack can now be used when imbued into the essence of finality amulet without wielding the staff of light. Remember when we were talking about this, we said that this might be a good one to use.
Oh, totally. Nice shield.
Yeah. A wall in Crid Et is no longer missing collision boxes, and they say that ought to hold it up for a few more centuries. You can now use runes from your backpack to restore artifacts while you have the Wicked Pouch equipped. So there are certain relics out there at 114 Archaeology, one of them, that require death runes. And I guess if you had the Wicked Pouch equipped, it wouldn't allow you to use the runes that were in your backpack in order to restore those artifacts. So this seems like an edge case. I wonder how long this has been in.
Or too long, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
The golden mining suit will now correctly apply its doubled ore chance effect. It wasn't doing it before.
I didn't notice.
Yeah, I wonder if those of us who had the full mining outfit with this combined into it were having this bug too, or if this was just the golden mining suit.
I mean, moved to the mining golem outfit ages ago, so...
Yeah, me too. Me too. Ancient Waterfiend familiars now correctly generate additional items while mining, fishing, and woodcutting with Sign of the Porters equipped.
Yep.
I thought something was wrong, and I don't know how far this goes back, but I thought something was wrong on the last Yak track when I was mining, and I had a water fan out because I normally would have the Lava Titan or whatever it's called, but I had this out because I just finished archaeology, and I thought something was up because it didn't generate extra ore. And yes, I was using porters.
Well, now you know. You weren't crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, you might still be crazy. But
Oh,
you
there's
weren't
many
wrong.
people out there who would say that I am. And on that note, we'll leave the patch notes here. Skilling offhand effects no longer function in free-to-play.
Well, probably a good thing.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting how water fiends are finally working despite them basically you beating them to death in order to get them to serve you. I mean, I wouldn't want to do that stuff either, but here they are getting a talking to after that.
Yeah. Yeah, binding contracts, eh? Perfect addition to summoning.
Totally. Perfectly ethical.
Righty, indeed. That's it for the patch notes this week. We're going to move on and talk about Premier Club 2021. We finally have the full list here of everything that you get with it. But, first and foremost, you get the ceremonial guard armor. I think this, and I'm going out on a limb here, I think that this armor is regal in a sense, and it kind of evokes a traditional RuneScape feel with a modern angle to it, and I'm thinking that kind of symbolizes the 20th anniversary that we're going to see in January.
Makes you look like a nerd.
Yeah, it kind of does, but hey, I mean, most people who play RS like that.
That's true. Okay, never mind. It's great.
The outfit looks pretty good. The ceremonial Osprey pet is a bird, as far as I can tell. Flies around. I don't know exactly how else to describe it. But
That's actually what it does. It just flies around.
Yeah, and you can
Very nice animation, though. I mean, it's very smooth.
You can see that on...
They use tweening. They got like every individual feather spreading out and everything.
Yeah.
It's actually really good.
Could you imagine what they could do with capes like that, Tannis?
I know, right? Or the wings that we wear on our backs.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I know. There's a lot of technicality behind that one.
All right. Let's go through some of the things that Premier Club gets. And first and foremost, people are going to realize the price of this package this year has dropped substantially since last year. Last year, it was $95 Canadian. This year, it's $80 Canadian. That's a pretty big drop.
Totally.
That's also $75 American and 45 Great British pounds. That's a huge price cut.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'd like to see that, huh?
yeah. And, I'm just going to do the U.S. one. So $74.99 into 12 months. So if you're paying anything more than $6.25 per month for RuneScape membership, this is 100% worth it.
Why is it so cheap all of a sudden?
I think it comes back to something Mod Warden has been saying, that they want to up the value that you get with membership and, in particular, this package.
Mm-hmm. Or it could be the fact that RuneScape is celebrating its 20th year.
Or that, too. Excellent steal of a deal with that. I think the current membership price, if you don't do Premier, is what, $9.99 a month? I think
so.
And going down to the $6.24 US a month, that's a pretty good deal as well. With that, for those wondering what this is on the Canadian front, if you're paying any more than $6.67 a month, this is going to be worth it to you. And for those paying with Great British pounds, anybody paying more than £3.75 a month is going to find a great value in it as well. And RuneScape hasn't been £3 a month in a long time. So
Silly question: can you still use bonds to buy Premier Club?
Yes, you can. You can.
Absolutely.
You can use bonds to buy Premier Club.
So you can technically get it for no real world money, but you have to be stinking rich in RuneScape to afford it.
Yeah.
But who isn't nowadays?
Or a lucky gambler.
Or a lucky gambler. What are you talking about?
Do people actually dual bonds?
No, but I mean, you dual money. I mean, dual party hats.
Then you buy bonds with that.
Then you buy bonds with that, yeah.
For the bronze, silver, and gold packages, respectively, you're looking at 5, 10, or 20 bonds, which is, the traditional price on that. Current market value, factoring that all in, is 144 mil for bronze, 288 for silver, and 576 mil for gold. Which, I mean, if you have the money kicking around, why not, right?
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
For a year's worth of membership.
I thought it was higher than that, yeah.
For a year's worth of membership. Plus 150,000 loyalty points, a Premier artifact, the armor and pet that we talked about, access to the Premier Pass Yak Tracks for all the years, extra monthly rewards. We don't exactly know what those are going to be yet. The additional treasure hunter keys per day, Premier Club reward tokens, a 50% Rune Metrics discount, 1,000 oddments each month, the Premier World access, free boss instances, and new this year.
What?
Yeah, 1 free boss instance per week.
Hey.
And new this year, 100 extra bank spaces.
Is that on top of the...
Awesome.
Like, is that on top? Like, that one confuses me a little bit.
That's on top of what you have.
With all
of
the stuff, like with all the boosters and everything.
That's the way I read it.
That means you can hold more artifacts, more artifacts.
Ooh, we need that.
Definitely.
Oh, that's worth it right there, man.
Yeah, and they are specifically calling it Premier Bank Space. Last year it was plus 50. This year it's plus 100.
Really? Okay.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
And it's also never forget that in-game chat badge, a nice little blue star next to your name to make you feel special.
Yeah, I turned that off because I don't like being an elitist.
Yeah, me neither.
You like feeling special, Shane?
I feel special enough as it is already.
We are special.
That's
Everybody
right.
is
We are
special.
special.
Do not forget it. Say it to yourself 3 times every time you go to sleep, and you will feel special.
This deal exists until March 1st of 2021 if you want to jump in on this. And they say the Premier Club discount ends on February 1st. So that's why we're looking at this price drop right here. It's a discount that goes until February 1st because of the 20th anniversary. So you're 100% right on that, Alex, why they did that.
Yep. So I was hoping you already caught on to that one.
Yeah.
And then after February 1st, it'll go up 20 times.
No, that's why you got to get in beforehand if you want this.
Get it now.
And, you know, honestly, based on how I feel about Yak Tracks and how I've played every Yak Track going forward, I would have no problem paying that extra $1.67 a month from the $5 a month fee for this.
Well, there you
For
go.
me.
You even got Shane, and he's tight as bark on a tree.
Well, plus it's just it's part of the symbolic thing of, you know, hey, RuneScape's $5 a month, and I want to, you know, be on that rung, right?
Right, yeah.
So there's that. But yeah, are you guys going to jump in on this?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I am.
Already did.
All right. What's your favorite perk?
My favorite perk? Let's see. I like the extra keys.
All right. Tennis?
Extra daily keys, because Treasure Hunter, you get a lot of cool stuff from that.
I'm going with bank space.
All right. Extra 50 bank spaces compared to last year. For me, it is still the Yak Tracks. Even though the last one was a little bit grindy, I'm still on that Yak Track parade that will champion it.
The VIP Premier World is also kind of nice, because almost guaranteed there'll be no bots or anything like that on it.
Really? I never see bots as it is anyways. And you know, that's actually a really good idea for archaeology stuff. I see so many little alts training archaeology with materials and stuff. So that, I mean, if that's a good place to hide from those. So
Totally.
But yeah, this is up on the RuneScape homepage. Just click the Premier Club button if you're interested in this one. There's one thing I also forgot. Apparently, you get a roll on Umbral chest every month. That's what we're talking about.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's the monthly reward. You get an Umbral
Umbral
chest. Yeah.
that's
which
pretty
they
a free purple thing, isn't it?
Yeah, which they normally only had, I believe, from Twitch Prime.
Yeah, that's
Pretty
right.
solid.
Which those things are hilariously overpowered, I must say.
I don't know.
Really?
I keep
Because
getting
I've
lucky
never
stuff.
gotten anything.
I've seen people get 100 mil off them.
Yeah, and I've never done it, though. I've never gotten anything good.
Me neither.
I don't have Twitch Prime, so I have never gotten one. I'll let you know what happens with this Premier Club one.
Oh, okay.
So.
You taking a stand against Jeff, or what?
Against who?
Oh, Bezos.
Oh, no, it's just I don't get enough stuff off Amazon that it's actually worth justifying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's fair.
Yeah. All right. I believe that's good for our RS section here on Premier Club, patch notes, and the construction contracts. I'm going to move on and thank our Patreon supporters for this week because, you know, this is important here.
Alrighty.
And I do have some news relating to Patreon, which I am finally able to talk about with this. So starting off this week, I'd like to thank Andrew C., Brock H., Cameron, Kristen S., Diana, Duramax, Jade Gizmo, Jade W., Jason S., Joe M., John P., Keski, Kyle, Malinoric, a new arrival, Nora, Rastafa, Ricky A., Samantha R., Soupfinder, Stub Eve, The Naked Captain, The Lion, Tom V., and Zant. Thank you, all of you, for your support. It truly does mean the world to us here at RSBNB Update for allowing us to do what we always do here week to week, delivering the podcast to you guys. And, of course, also the monthly bits, the inside updates, the round table. And, we're approaching that time of the year where it's just that time of the year to pay it forward a little bit. So starting off tomorrow on November 20th until December 4th, anybody who is a Patreon member at any of our tiers, $1, $3, or $5, any tier, and chooses to provide shipping information to us via the Patreon website, which is 100% secure, will receive a special crew-signed RSBNB Update Christmas card from the producers and everybody who makes RSBNB work. And this is our thanks to you for supporting the podcast and just pushing forward and spreading out a little bit of holiday cheer as we head into the Christmas season here in 2020. So if that sounds interesting to you or your existing subscriber, all you have to do is head on over to patreon.com/RSBNB and join for as little as $1 a month. In addition to our Christmas offer, you get early access to the show notes, access to the entire back catalog of monthly bits, and so much more. We also, of course, have the $3 and $5 tiers. The $3 one allows you to get a special rank on Discord and gives you high-quality stereo versions of the podcast. And the $5 version gives you exclusive access to the outtakes that we use for the clip show at the end of the year. And in doing so, of course, we also have our monthly bit, which we're going to be pulling soon, our round table, inside update, which we just published last week, a bit of a conversation with Zant, movie night, and, of course, should we reach that $200 a month tier, we'll run an official line of RSBNB Update merchandise. And should we ever, some point in the future, reach $500 a month, Tanis and I will subject our taste buds to some pain through a range of spicy wings for your enjoyment to see. And you can find all of this and more at patreon.com/RSBNB. And just to recap on that, you have from the time you're hearing this until December 4th to sign up, and anybody who is inside that range will receive a special, unique, one-of-a-kind RSBNB Update Christmas card this year. So if that sounds like your boat to you, sign up. It'll be a fun little thing to receive from RSBNB Update. Thanks so much, everyone.
You really want to subject yourself to spicy stuff? Taste buds don't heal,
Yeah, it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough.
Really?
I'll be able to handle
question,
it.
This Christmas card, does it include that picture of you in that muscle suit you keep sending me every month?
No.
Okay.
No.
But he might be wearing a Santa suit, right? Well, Shane, don the beard. Don the beard.
Oh, I don't think so. We're going to go
Grow the beard.
We're going to go very conservative.
$1,000 incentive right there. Let's get that patron at $1,000 and you might see him.
All right. Let's move on to tech news. Apple and their App Store shocked the world this week.
Oh, yeah?
Tanis, have you heard about this one?
Are they trying to sue somebody?
No.
Is it actually easy to get your apps on there now?
No. It's still the same. Very good point, okay. Alex. Very good point. It's not an easy affair to get your apps on the App Store. But Apple is changing their developer program so that for small businesses and individuals who are in less than $1 million a year, the commission that Apple takes will be only 15%, down from 30%.
Oh,
which,
that's good.
When you run the percentage change on this is an increase of revenue of 21% per year.
Are they not merciful? Are they not merciful, Shane? No, I'm kidding, but I mean it's good. But do you think that happens without pressure from Epic?
No, I don't think. I think it was. I think there's a number of ways to look at this. The first way to look at this is that this is a goodwill gesture towards their developers. The second way to look at this is that the amount of money that Apple makes from these people who make less than $1 million annually is not the lion's share of the money or the revenue that the App Store brings in, so they can afford to do it. Those are the first two ways you can look at it. And the second way is that, people like Epic will say, okay, that's all fine and dandy, but what about Apple's practices that prevent us, the million and billion dollar companies, from competing fairly? What about them? And, that's going to be another way to look at it. So as with everything, and this is one thing I really want to drive home to our listeners here, is that, you have a story like this and you see it reported in the tech news world and whatnot. And depending on who you're talking to, whether you're talking to somebody who is one of these small businesses on Apple, or if you're talking to the tech press, or if you're talking to Epic, everybody's going to have a completely different take on what is happening with this. But I think the really important core things to take away from this are two. First and foremost is that any developer out there who is wanting to get started can actually have a better shot at doing this now, because, you look and you roll this out 21% and you roll that out month over month, that could be the difference between someone making rent and someone not making rent from their app. It's as simple as that. But the other way to look at this is that Apple's practices when it comes to Epic, when it comes to NVIDIA game streaming services, when it comes to the Stadia game streaming service and so on and so forth, the Xbox game streaming service, that has not changed. And the way that Apple interacts with those developers has not changed either. So there's two different ways of looking at this, and both sides of it are going to present their story differently on this. But at the end of the day, I think the biggest benefit to this comes from the independent developers.
And it sounds like they're benefiting the most. I mean, they're getting a doubling in their kind of robbing anyway.
And if you're Epic on this, the perfect way to spin this is to say, hey, look, we were right about this. This is good for the developers who
we were just looking out for the developers anyway, right?
It's good for the developers in that band, but we still have these problems. This doesn't help us. This is just a PR move by Apple. That would be the proper way for Epic to frame something like this, even though it's still good for the actual developers out there. And the way it works is existing developers who made up to $1 million in 2020 for all their apps, as well as new developers to the App Store, can qualify for the program at this reduced commission. And if your revenue were to surpass the $1 million threshold, the standard commission rate would apply for the remainder of the calendar year that it does. And then if you drop below $1 million, you go back to the 15% after that.
Okay.
And this is all part of Tim Cook and his push to, I guess, put Apple in a very positive light with everything that's going on here with this. So, I don't know. I'm pleased with this. I still have questions about their development platform from the way they actually, do things technically, but that's a topic for a different show.
Well, I guess I'm trying to figure out the angle, though, because I know it's not like he was visited by 3 ghosts and his heart grew 3 sizes that night. Where's the angle here, man? I know there's got to be one.
I think if you're looking for a grand macro angle, I think the idea is that the Epic suit and maybe another one will go to court on this eventually, and Apple can say, hey, we already did this for the majority of our developers out there. We're going to make some concessions to Epic and Microsoft on their apps. Let's settle this without, having some massive fine or something like that levied against them. I think that's the angle on this.
Might be just a cheaper cost of doing business.
Exactly. And that's what it comes down to at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, sure. They are machines.
All right. This next one is an interesting one and is a little bit inside baseball for the development community, but I think you guys will enjoy this one. So you guys are familiar with the website called GitHub, right?
Oh, you bet I am. We use it for work all the time.
Okay. Tanis, you?
Uh-uh.
Okay. GitHub is a website that allows people to store source code for software for free. You can, of course, get upgraded plans and whatnot that allow you to store more and have private repositories, but the idea is the same. It's a place to store your code and do version control on software that you're writing. Now, with that, there's millions of packages and projects that are hosted on GitHub, and this is what we call open source software. And one of them is called YouTube DL, which is short for YouTube Downloader. And many pieces of software out there use YouTube DL. And the idea behind YouTube DL is that, say, a Discord bot that was aiming to play music would use YouTube DL to download a YouTube video and play the audio of that video into a Discord channel. Another example of using YouTube DL is that if you want to archive your favorite podcasts in video format and they don't make it available, you could use YouTube DL to do it. So if somebody wanted an archive of all the RSBANDBUpdate episodes that are on YouTube, they could use YouTube DL to grab those off of YouTube and have an archive of all the video versions of the podcast if they wanted for some reason. So effectively, YouTube DL downloads videos from YouTube. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The RIAA, Recording Industry Association of America, issued a DMCA takedown request at GitHub for YouTube DL because they felt that developers were using YouTube DL to pirate music. Now,
maybe they're just using it to not have to listen to the commercials. I'll never think of that.
Yeah, maybe. And, initially GitHub took down YouTube DL because they didn't have the resources to fight back against this. But, just because YouTube DL exists does not mean it is used for nefarious purposes of stealing music from music videos on YouTube. Some people do that, and that is perfectly fine for somebody to think that that's going to happen with it. But there's actually been a twist in this story that the Electronic Frontier Foundation and the Software Freedom Law Center came to the defense of GitHub and provided them with free legal advice and support for this DMCA takedown request. And as a result of this, the developers and GitHub were able to push back and get the YouTube DL package reinstated on GitHub. And the reason this is tech news is because, this is something you might not hear about, but this is one of the RIAA's pushes with the DMCA in order to, effectively try and wrestle back some of the control that was taken away from the music industry back in the day. And, they failed because of organizations like the EFF. And when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, this is just an open source package that could be used for good. It could also be used for nefarious purposes to copy music off of YouTube. But just because that's one reason for it doesn't mean everybody out there like myself who uses it to archive videos should face a penalty for it. So this is a very important piece of news when it comes to digital freedom online. And this is, I think if anybody goes back to tech news in 2006, we've been talking about this for a long time back then. So I was very pleased to see this week. Tanis, you have any further thoughts, any questions?
I mean, this is a little above my pay grade, man. But I guess I'm familiar with using them because I use the Discord bots and stuff.
Yeah,
but
they're using YouTube DL behind the scenes.
Yeah,
and anytime you download a YouTube video, it's using YouTube DL.
Yeah, and my playlists are on YouTube, so I like to plug those in, and I plug them into my Discord bot, and then I only, I don't have to have anything up. It's just, I don't know. And what's this about pirating music? Music's not really even the whole dynamic's changed. Nobody really owns them, or a person doesn't own your music anyway with all the streaming and everything.
Yeah,
you don't own that songs. You're just licensing being able to play it, right? I mean, that's kind of how it works.
Yeah, and the game has changed. We went from $1.99 songs to 99-cent songs in iTunes to music streaming as being the primary method. I don't even know if you can buy songs on iTunes anymore.
I mean, you can, but it's just, I mean.
Nobody's ever doing it anymore because services like Apple Music and stuff.
Spotify and the like, yeah.
Especially Spotify. SoundCloud, all these kind of things.
Right, and with that, people have their other methods of YouTube DL. Makes 100% sense out there for something like this to be able to exist and exist freely in the source code on there. So,
yeah, man, don't tread on me.
All right. We're moving into the Twitterverse now for this next story.
Oh, not the Twitterverse.
You heard of Twitter fleets?
No.
Tell me about it in excruciating detail.
Well, are you familiar with Snapchat?
A little bit.
So, what happens is that on Snapchat, somebody takes a picture and then it disappears after 24 hours or something like that. And, it's a picture that disappears. The idea behind a fleet is that it's a tweet that disappears. I don't know.
No.
I don't know why they'd call it a fleet, honestly.
No.
Because it's a fleeting
No
thought.
good can come from this.
Okay, fleeting thought. Fair enough. And the idea behind this is that at the top of your Twitter app, it will show all the fleets that are out there. You can interact with them, reply to them. They're a good way of showcasing. Whoa, God, that was loud. Sorry for anybody listening to that. I started playing a Twitter video on that. But the whole idea behind it is you can embed tweets, you can embed videos, you can embed pictures, you can embed just text. And it's a way to increase interaction with Twitter and try and get a little bit out of what Snapchat and TikTok have seen their ad revenues spike by with.
The nice thing about it only lasting for 24 hours is that you can change your mind afterwards.
I mean, if they...
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. This is a way that they can say all the things that they say and get away with it because they're from the record now. I changed my mind. And who thinks this is a good idea? I don't want to hear verbal diarrhea all the time. I want to know.
And I mean, and that's the thing. It could be audio, it could be video, or it could just be pictures. Yeah.
It's just a way to screw accountability.
I don't know about that.
I think it's a good idea.
They say that their tests in Brazil, Italy, India, and South Korea enabled people to feel more comfortable in joining the conversation through a fleet. And fleets also made more people talk on Twitter. And they made it, and they proved an easier way to have people share what was on their mind.
Girl, that's what we need.
Yeah.
How about we keep some shit to ourselves for a change?
I haven't seen any fleets yet from Donald Trump or Joe Biden.
Give him time. He probably doesn't know about it yet.
I think that'd be actually pretty funny thinking about it.
I think it sounds horrible. Like I said, maybe we need to keep some things to ourselves for a change. Let's give that a try.
But
it's when you're comforted by the knowledge that what you put down is not going to stay locked on the internet forever. You can.
But you don't know that. It still could be on a server, right? We don't know that it actually disappears.
Exactly.
It could still be on their servers. So, I mean, and, this is just like Snapchat and TikTok.
Steal secrets and stuff from more gullible people. That's the whole reason behind it.
Yeah, just don't get too comfortable with things disappearing like that. But, I use, and I'm going to shock some people for this. I source my news through the website we've talked about before on the podcast called Nuzzle, which is based off of Twitter. And if I open my Twitter client, this thing's actually working. These fleets are actually working because people are actually engaging and using these fleets on day one.
It's like chatting in Discord, except that the conversation is deleted after the day.
Yeah, and it's really a way to draw people in and increase interaction, I feel. And I think the end goal for them on this is to effectively, at some point, monetize them, just like Snapchat has done. Because the one thing...
Do you ever go through somebody's tweets and just browse through every one of them every single day, just in case you forgot something? I don't think so.
No.
You're only going to look at everything once, and that's all you really want to care about. So if anything, this is a good way to keep things clean.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be the monetization model for this, because Twitter has always had a problem with making money.
Yep. For an extra $5 a month, you can have fleets that'll last for 48 hours.
No, I mean, you're just going to be the product, and at the end of the day, instead, it's just going to be...
Yeah, but that's true, too.
Going to be a little reversey-do on that, so... But, I don't know. If you want to reply to a fleet, you can actually reply directly to the person via direct messages if you both follow each other, or you can just tweet them with it. Apparently, also, fleet authors can see who views their fleets, including accounts with protected tweets, by clicking into their fleets and tapping on Seen By text at the bottom. And I actually made one of these for RSBANDB this week for questions.
Did it disappear?
Yeah, it did disappear.
Oh, no.
Or so we think.
Yeah, so we think. By clicking into their fleets...
It would disappear for all intensive purposes, barring, like, a court order, right?
Exactly.
So you can't just go and find out when someone says something stupid and then say, oh, it turns around and be like, no, I never said that. Where's proof?
Yeah, and as far as I can... And as far as I can tell, when you make a fleet, you can't get the interaction metrics for it after it disappears, which is really dumb when you think about it.
Huh. Wonder why that is.
I don't know.
Sure they thought of that.
I don't know. Anyways, yeah, that's Twitter fleets. We knew this was coming for a while, and here it is. And, you know, I'm a little bit shocked at how much people are interacting with this.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know. People just are really into arguing with each other on Twitter.
Yeah.
It's more popular than I ever would have imagined.
Yeah. All right. Let us move on right now and talk about our skill of the month that we got going on. First and foremost, I'll congratulate the winner of our fishing skill of the month that took place during double XP. Froggerman earned 4.2 million XP, Jade Gizmo earned 1.1, and Magic King earned 529k. Trophy will be on the way shortly. And our archaeology contest is still going, with Froggerman still putting in 16.3 million XP, Keski with 4.7, and JamAndy52 with 3.5 million XP. Nicely done,
of course.
Everyone.
Yeah, I should have signed up for that.
Yeah, you should have. I should have signed up for it, too.
Great name for winning the fishing competition, though.
Yeah, Froggerman 45.
Froggerman.
Yeah. Woohoo! All right, let's move on to achievements. Alex, get us going.
Alrighty, achievements. Let's see what we got here. We have Silver Wiz 9 with level 99 Archaeology, November 18th, 2020. As well as Under King pulling off the triple 120 Strength, Defense, and Attack, the three main melee skills, November 18th. And then we have, I don't know how to pronounce that. Airil?
Yeah, just
Airil?
try your best.
A-E-A, like that's a weird combination of vowels there. Yeah. Like Airil. I'll call you Airil. How's that sound? So Airil, you, my friend, showed off with 4 level 99s simultaneously in the same chat box. Level 99 Archaeology, level 99 Smithing, level 99 Cooking, and level 99 Firemaking. Good job. I hope you're proud of yourself. Bulbazard pulled off level 99 Herblore on November 17th as well. Merovec, 99 Archaeology, November 17th. Mind with 120 Slayer, which I haven't done yet, November 17th. Samurai Zero pulled a double with 200 million defense experience and 120 Slayer. He's done a lot of fighting, it sounds like. And Barty Pants pull off level 99 mining also on November 17th. And then November 16th saw one level 120 invention by New Hero. Good job, guys.
Alrighty.
I am out of words now. You guys go ahead.
Well, moving on to the 15th, Harlot Man got 99 defense, Jag 3 Dagster with 99 divination, Lazy Colonel with 99 defense, Miss Alaska with 120 Herblore, Mythica UK with 99 thieving, Prodigal Gaze with 120 invention, Silly Cat 98 with 99 fletching, and Zodia Child with 120 dungeoneering. And that was on the 14th. So moving on to the 14th. Arcane got 120 archaeology. Arendelle 120 got 99 invention. And here's C with
Yeah, I
99.
think that's how I'd say it.
I mean, it was 99 smithing on the 14th. And Ignoctus with 99 fire making. And then Lazy Colonel with 99 ranged. And Lazy Colonel again with 99 constitution.
Nicely done. On the 14th, we also have Mythica UK with 99 summoning, Riha with 99 dungeoneering, Psy Oasis got 99 hunter and 99 fletching, Snowlight got 99 crafting, Thieves got 120 hunter, Up the Iron 05 got 99 prayer, Xanthan Gum got 99 dungeoneering, Chief Snake, otherwise known as Brad, got 99 constitution, old co-host of the podcast on November 13th. Dog Says FTW with 99 woodcutting on the 13th. God Shaman with 99 firemaking. Ignotucus, yeah, see, I had the same problem with that one. 99 prayer on the 13th. Jammy Jenny with 120 archaeology on the 13th. Mythica UK with 99 ranged. Nathan with 99 agility. Nathan again with 120 dungeoneering. VI Nightshade with 99 divination, rounding out the 13th. Then on the 12th, we have Jag 3 Dagster with 99 thieving, Kedgeworth with 99 hunter, Kesky with 120 archaeology, Nordic Falcon with 99 fletching, Prodigal Gaz with 99 archaeology, Rolladude 540 with 99 rune crafting, Uber Plastic with 99 constitution, Vivian with 99 archaeology, and then rounding it all up, Xanthan Gum again with 99 prayer on November 12th. Nicely
and
done,
not
everyone.
a single construction-based achievement. What was wrong with you guys?
Interesting.
We've all got them. We already have them, right?
Yeah, I guess
probably
so.
next week you're going to see a lot more construction achievements.
Yeah, probably.
Absolutely.
Good call. All right, and as per tip with guests, we're going to turn this one over to Alex. He's got a book as the pick of the week. What do you got for us?
So I have a book. This is a book that I personally have never read before. However, my brother has read it, and he has been harping up about it ever since he got back from Vancouver after taking an awesome 3-month animation course. And he said that it was one of the best books there because it is exceptionally good for highlighting how animation works. And if you want to become an animator, it's a $100 book. Invest in it, and trust me, you are going to improve yourself big time on it, because that's what he did. He went through the 3-month course, he read that book, and his animations have been looking top-notch now.
It says that the book is designed as a way to share basic art tidbits with enthusiasts of drawing, painting, animation, and illustration. It also...
And you look at the pages, everything's just so fun, It's like, it's written as though it's like Cliff Notes.
Oh, that's good.
Got that sort of fun little aesthetic to it, so it's always engaging, and it keeps everything simple and to the point and stuff. You can totally doodle in your sketchbook as you're going through it. It's pretty awesome.
Nice. It also...
Again, never read it. I want to.
It also allows for a revisiting of the basic foundations of the artistry craft and to reassess simple and effective tools learned along the way. You can get it in their store or on Amazon, and you said it was very hard to find there, and apparently their store is down at the moment, so there's that. But yeah, okay, interesting. And if you look at some of the pictures of the inside of it as well, you can really see how advanced this is. And quite honestly, this is way more advanced than my stick figures allow. And I'm not sure how Tanis feels about that. It is artistic.
I'm in the same boat. Same boat.
So yeah, there you go. You want to be an animator? This is a really good resource.
All right. Thank you for the pick, Alex.
Yeah, no worries.
What have you been up to on RS, Tanis?
I've actually done a boatload of archaeology. I probably did 70, 80 artifacts from the latest Orthan place I can get into, and I'm not too far behind, Shane. We're coming up strong. We're at 109.
I'm currently 115.
Yes, 120.
Man, yeah, you've been putting in some work too. But last I checked, you were at like 46. I was like, oh, I'm only about 10 mil behind Shane.
I'm currently at 63.
All right, well,
He's doing it, folks. He's doing it.
we're cruising.
All right.
Anyways, continue.
Yeah, and then a little bit of this construction just to, kind of change pace a little bit. And, yeah, so it's pretty much all I've done this week.
All right. Alex?
So as I'm sure Shane told you guys last week, I got level 120 archaeology, and that's been basically my main focus for a good long time, getting the 120 archaeology so I could do all the lore and work towards my Master Quest Cape, which I now only have 7 tasks left to do, so that is currently my goal.
Oh, wow.
Other than that, right now I am working on divination.
Divination?
Just to get my charge pack counts back up again, because
okay, fair enough.
archaeology took a lot of it out of me. Like, my character's pretty well drained of all his resources and stuff, so I'm trying to catch back up on that.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Other than that, I am only 2 levels away from 120 Slayer and 120 Farming, which I plan to get both of them simultaneously.
Then you'll be true maxed.
Just about. I'm also need 10 more Herbler levels.
Ooh.
That's going to be the hard one, because
That's
double
gonna be a
XP
pain.
was me training lots of Herblore, and I only got the 1 level. So
Yeah.
Hey, well, you'll
that's
have one
not going
come
to come for
winter.
a long time.
Probably have another one towards February.
Yep.
So,
Yep. That's right.
I will stock up on potions and get ready for that.
yep.
All right. As for me, 100% archaeology during double XP period. As I mentioned last week, my method was the Flask of Soma, the precision consumable with the material consumable, as well as double XP, and it just goes so fast with that.
I know, right?
Oh, man.
And I kind of went overboard. I got double the artifacts I needed for 115.
Yeah, well, I mean, like what, about 20 an hour?
Yeah.
They add up pretty
Yeah.
quick. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's mainly the materials you need, though. So
Yeah, the materials were the hard part. I've started to dip into the cash pile. We're down to about 310 mil right now.
Well, that's not much of a dip.
It was at
Or
370 before.
Are you buying?
Easily
You have to
regain, just do a
buy,
bunch of clue scrolls and get super lucky and get another blood die.
Yeah, there's that too. What was the question, Tanis?
oh, if you were doing Orthan stuff, because that's what killed me. Because I kept
No,
playing
I'm
Orthan,
just doing
and
at the level. But
the materials killed me.
yeah, and see the way I did it is that I gathered the artifacts on double XP after hitting 115, then I restored after double XP was over, and the materials I was able to buy for 15% below market.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Yeah, I did the same thing, but because it was, Orthan materials.
Yeah, they're not as common.
High.
Yeah. In grand total, throughout double XP, coming up to now, in terms of levels, because I was still restoring those artifacts that I did, but from the start of double XP on November 5th, I got 3 archaeology levels and 14.9 million archaeology XP.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, man, we would have been in the race. Why didn't we do that?
Yeah, we would have been in.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, most of mine fell after the skill of the month started. But hey, I mean,
Yeah,
it is
mine
what
too.
it is. What it is. But after that, I just took a day or two, did some construction contracts, got my first plank box. I'll probably finish off the outfit. But
Yeah.
it's
I don't know. I mean,
gonna be good fun. Good fun.
Kind of digging it. It's cheap.
Yeah, it's really really good. It's really good.
Gotta get 1,000 contract things.
All right. Well, I believe with that being said, we can wrap this episode up. I don't think there's anything else. Anybody good to go?
That's
Yep.
a wrap.
Let's wrap it up quick. I gotta go work out and get swole.
Okay, fair enough. With that being said, we'll be back next week for another episode of RSBANDB Update. If you guys want to subscribe, you can do that on Apple Podcasts, Google, Spotify, Pocket Cast, YouTube, practically anything. Just visit update.rsbnb.com/subscribe or youtube.com/rsbnb. But, of course, if you want to take us up on our Patreon Christmas offering, you can learn more about that at patreon.com/rsbnb. Anybody who is a Patreon member and provides shipping information within the next 2 weeks or so will receive a RSBNB Update Christmas card. So sign up to Patreon, support the podcast, and we'll pay it back with a little bit of Christmas cheer. So that being said, we'll be back next week for another episode of RSBNB Update. Take
Who
care,
else?
everyone.
Except I won't be.